Aloha, you guys. Shalom. I am broadcasting live from the Verde River headwaters in Arizona, and I've been camping here since Tuesday night, and I'll be leaving here Sunday. But you know, I brought my cards with me because it's time for the full moon activation, and you know, I can't miss it. So let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from in the world. And yes, it's a little bit of a different setting here. I'm working with what I've got. We've got just a little bit of service. I'm doing it in my car, but we're doing it. And I'm at the Verde River headwaters, you guys. It's pretty amazing. And before I start, I just wanted to let you guys know that for a while now, we've been raising money to save the life of the Verde River. And with this money, what we're doing is purchasing the land where the headwaters are for the entire Verde River. And this is huge, you guys, because what the headwaters represent is so big. The headwaters, I mean, this is where the water begins for the entire Verde River. And we won't have this source if we don't protect it. Okay, so we're really in need of raising some more funds to purchase this land. If you're interested in hearing more about this, please reach out. I don't want to say too much about it, but if you want to hear more, please reach out. We don't have much time, so we're under a little bit of pressure right now. Again, let me know if you want to help, if this touches your heart in some way. That's why I'm here this week doing this work at the headwaters. Whew. So, with that said, I'm going to begin shuffling the cards. Here they are. Oh, it's so good to see you guys tuning in. Woo! So again, let me know in the comments where in the world you're tuning in from. Just waking up the deck, waking up the different parts of the mind. Saying hello to them, letting them know we're present and ready to receive this message. It's so quiet here. It's also the first night of Passover. It's also Good Friday. Easter's coming. So right now is an energy of liberation, rebirth, resurrection, coming out of the darkness and into the light. So Hag Pesach Sameach for those of you who are celebrating. Happy Good Friday. Happy Easter. Thank you in advance to the archetype Faces of the One for the message that's about to come through. So what is the current focus? Oh, I feel this one calling out, so I'm going to get it. This is the focus, the challenge, and the gift. Something that we've got to let go of. An energy we're ready to leave in the past. And then with the Hebrew deck, of course, we're going to pull the ally. Ooh, it's hard to work with this little bit of light here. Oh, good to see you guys. Australia in the house, Virginia, Alaska. Woo-hoo. Pulling the ally of the week. Okay, so beginning with the current challenge and gift. Whoop. So it's the Six of Cups. Okay, it looks like this. The little boy and girl are exchanging a cup with a white flower inside. And it's cups, so it's the suit of the heart and emotions, feelings. The The Six of Cups is all about giving and receiving from a place of purity and innocence, communicating from the heart, giving and receiving from that space. And what this looks like when we bring it to the self is about having that harmonious exchange between our polarities, the forces that make up who we are: masculinity, femininity, active, receptive. Okay? Above, below, body, spirit. How are we unifying these parts of ourselves? Because until we can have that harmony within, that synergistic exchange between the forces of polarity within our own being, how do we expect to see that outside of us? Outside of us, really, it's all us, it's all one. But until we experience that internally, it's impossible to experience it externally in the world. So this being the challenge and the gift, or the focus of this full moon this week, it's really asking us to use every relationship with man, woman, child that we come across as a ritual to heal those forces of polarity within the self. Okay, so when you're exchanging energies with anyone, let's say you're exchanging energies with your mother, your masculine and feminine energies are exchanging information with her masculine and feminine energies. It's not just, I'm a female, she's a female, so it's feminine, it's feminine. There are always there's always that interplay of polarities, because those forces of polarity make up all things. So this archetype is asking us to really pay attention in all of our relationships, our communications, our exchanges of information with even our environment, and ask, how am I exchanging information with this person or this place in a way where I'm remaining aware of that interplay of polarities? How am I receiving from a feminine place the energy of this space, or the energy of this being? And if you don't have a clear definition of what the feminine and masculine are, this work may be a little more difficult. It would help to start with that initial work of clearly defining what masculinity and femininity even is. Because how can you know how to be the best embodiment of either of those energies if you don't have a clear vision and a clear definition and understanding of what those forces are multidimensionally? So, for example, if the feminine receptive element of who we are is connected to our intuition, then I would ask myself, when I'm speaking with another being, whomever it is, man, woman, any age, I would ask, how am I intuitively receiving the energy of this person? How am I really hearing them, but not just the words they're saying? How am I maybe, hearing the feelings behind what they're saying? Because that is femininity. So in that way, that's one example of how I can, through my femininity, my receptivity, take in that person's feminine energy. How am I feeling their feelings? How am I being perceptive to their feelings? How am I receiving them in an intuitive way? Then perhaps I can ask, all right, what is my active force meant to be doing here in this moment with this person? How can I act on the information that is being exchanged here? What action can I take in this moment? And when you ask, how can I receive this person, or how can I act on what this person is sharing with me, whether you're considering the masculine or feminine element, the way in which we come to the conclusion of how we should receive or how we should act is based on the same question, always. And that question is, what can I do in this moment, whether it's in a receiving way or in an active way? What can I do that's going to be the best for the whole through this ritual of my relating to this individual or to this environment? So whether we're inquiring about how to best embody our masculinity or our femininity, how to best embody our active force or receptive force, the way in which we come to the answer is always the same. It's upon consideration of the whole. How can I best receive this information that the environment is offering me or that this being is offering me in a way that's going to serve the whole? Which is also asking, how can I be the best embodiment of that feminine energy in a way that's going to help the whole? And then on the masculine side, it would be, what action can I take in this moment that's going to serve the whole? So we're really being called to use all of our experiences right now and be absolutely present, aware, and intentional. Again, using every experience as a ritual to heal the whole. And this is in all moments. This is in all moments. But understand that, okay, so when you're utilizing every relationship, every situation that comes at you this week and really into the future, you want to ask, how am I using this to heal the one of which I am a part? So when you remember this, when you are using your relationships and your experiences to activate those forces within you in a way that's positive. Oh, yay. That was our first disconnection. Who's still with me? Okay, let's get through this. Really, at the Headwaters, it's amazing that we have any service out here, you guys. Okay, so let's continue and let's move through it as quickly as we possibly can. So understand that when you're using all of your experiences and your relationships as a ritual to heal, or to activate rather, those forces within you in a way that's positive for the whole, you're healing your own inner polarities. Don't be fooled. Everything around you is only temporary anyway. Even these bodies, it's all temporary. So how can you rise above the material entanglement to remember each moment that all of your experiences are only here so that you can do this work to create harmony within yourself through the way that you activate those forces positively in all of your relationships and all of your experiences. This is the key this week. Exchanging from the heart with everyone you see, with all that you come across, understanding that it's for you. It's for the one. It's for all of us. So yes, get over yourself and make peace with that person that you thought you never would. Because remember, holding on to anger is like you're drinking your own poison, right? The one who holds anger is the one who suffers. So forget all of your ego's reasons. It's going to give you every reason. It's going to try to justify not exchanging from the heart. Go beyond it. The prize is just on the other side. And that prize is inner harmony, which heals the entire world because you are a microcosm of this world. Okay, so that's the work of the week. What do we need to leave behind? Okay, so we have the Chariot, major arcanum, coming up. Also the Conqueror. So what we need to leave behind, it's very clear. I mean, I wish I could show you guys this image a little clearer. Okay, just look up the Chariot, also known as the Conqueror in ancient times. Clearly what we need to leave behind is the egoic need to get ahead, to be better than that person, or to never have to be the one to say sorry. All those things that are going to keep you from exchanging from the heart are what needs to be left behind. And you will be able to identify them when you consider the archetype of the Chariot, aka the Conqueror. What part of you is wanting to conquer something other than your own lower nature? Pay attention. Pay attention, because that energy looks like, again, not wanting to be the one to say sorry, not wanting to be the bigger person. I don't even really like that term. Okay? It looks like this need to get ahead, This need to, okay, on the positive side of this card, it's beautiful. It's like, I want to ascend, I want to evolve, which includes the whole. It involves compassion. But what we're leaving behind is the negative expression of the archetype of the chariot or the conqueror. We're leaving behind the need to dominate, because when we do that, we get ahead of ourselves. We only hurt ourselves, ourself, of which all of creation is a part. No one gets ahead when we behave this way. So slow down, chill out. And a message is coming up very clearly in this moment is that some of us may be thinking that we're getting ahead, that we're evolving, that we're ascending. Ooh, I have ascension symptoms, I'm getting ahead. But we only can evolve as a collective. Okay, so slow down. Slow down, because it's not about who can get there the fastest. It's not about that at all. The evolution and the progression and the expansion happens in the small moments, in the little moments, the ones that we're so quick to overlook. Every moment is an opportunity to do this work, to exchange information with your environment, with your relationships from the heart. Each time you do that, you transcend the limitations of this world. Each time you do that, you truly progress. So get over this false idea of progression that you've been holding on to, this need for speed, need to get ahead, need to grow and evolve and ascend. The ascension happens here, at the center, in your heart, when you promote harmony, love, peace, connection, sharing in purity and innocence. And you can't be doing that while simultaneously being in this perspective of the rat race. Okay, it's a dog-eat-dog mentality, and it's not going to work. You can either be in your heart or not. And when we're in this need for speed kind of attitude, we're just trampling everyone in our way. And guess what? They're a part of you. We're all a part of the same one. We're in this together. So we fool ourselves in thinking that we need to be doing anything other than staying centered in the heart. And then it doesn't matter what you're doing. The universe will bring to you that which you should be doing in each moment. It always is. Trust that. You don't need to worry about that. Get out of your own way. All you need to do is stay in your heart, stay in your heart, stay in your heart. And if you stay in your heart, everyone and everything that's meant to come to you absolutely will. It always does. Did you forget? Clearly we're forgetting. So slow it down. Remember that all you need to do is stay in the heart. If you stay there, you receive from there and you give from there, okay? So both your feminine and your masculine polarities, your active and your receptive polarities are acting and receiving from that space. You don't need to worry about anything else. The rest will be a reflection of that harmony. And the ally of the week, again, is the Hebrew letter Peh, P-E-H. You can Google it if you want to get a clear image, because on the camera it does flip it in the reflection. But it's the Hebrew letter Peh, P-E-H. And we had this last week for the activation. And guess what? It's the first letter of tonight's holiday, Pesach. Pesach. It was also the part of the theme of this whole week's Torah story. So it's it's funny, it's coming up again. And I was thinking about that. I was saying, wow, I wonder why the Peh didn't come up for Passover. Like I was getting ahead of myself, right? And I was meditating the other day and thinking, well, it's interesting that the Peh came up the week before Pesach. Although that was perfect too, but I thought, wow, it would be so cool if the Peh came up for Pesach. And here it is again, 2 activations in a row. 2 activations in a row. Notice how it's right over my mouth right now? The hieroglyphic symbol associated with the Hebrew letter Peh is a mouth. Pesach means the mouth speaking. The mouth speaks. Okay? And this past week's Torah story, Metzorah, was all about when we speak poorly about others or anything else, which is really just a reflection of the one, because that's all there is. We get negative karma from that. We literally get disease from that. Sickness, decay, death. Okay, so that theme from the Torah story continues till tonight, Pesach. This is such an important ally to have for this week. It's reminding us that the pei, the mouth, because the pei symbolizes the mouth, is our expression. The mouth is really just a symbol for our entire expression, okay? The mouth then extends into our entire being. Just like God blew his breath into the nostril of man, okay? It's like the story of Genesis. We are speaking things into creation. We are speaking things into creation. So remember that everything you speak is a reflection of above and below, meaning everything you speak is a reflection of your thoughts, your conceptions, which then becomes manifest into the world of creation. So the mouth is the bridge for creation. So this being our ally is saying, pay attention to your words, because your words are what create your reality. The words you speak become the house you live in, right? So it's saying that not only do we manifest these relationships and experiences in order to use them as rituals to balance our polarities, to refine the way in which we embody those polarities. Our words do it. And before our words, it's our thoughts. So what are we creating to be the ritual for us to practice further refining the way in which we embody these polar forces? Okay, that's a big one. Really, listen again. The pei as our ally is asking us to look this week at our words. Look very closely at our words. Understand how they're reflecting our thoughts, our beliefs. What are we creating with our expression, which is incurring karma? What kind of karma are we creating? What situations are we manifesting as an effect of the causes, which are our thoughts and our words and our actions? So it's saying, yes, use what you've created so far in your reality, your relationships that you've attracted to you in this lifetime, your experiences. But what's more is pay attention to the words that you're speaking and the thoughts that you're thinking, because they are creating the next round of crystallizations, manifestations that are going to then become the future rituals for you to reach that next level in the process of refining the way in which you embody these forces of polarity. So yes, while you right now are utilizing what has already manifested, understand what has manifested around you is already a result of a past thought. So how can you get even a step ahead of the game? How can you but be careful, don't try to go too quickly. Or how can you go even deeper with this work that we're being given right now? In understanding that as you're doing this ritual, the words that you're speaking and the thoughts that you're thinking are already creating the next round of manifestations that are going to take you into the next round of deepening that harmony and synthesis, synergy of the forces within you. So understand that this process is never ending, okay? When you take the archetypal work that's given to you, when you take the archetypal message, and you relate it to right now, that's one thing, and that's an amazing thing. And the effects are profound when you actually apply what you're learning. But when you take these archetypal messages and you relate them to the truth of our eternal nature, you unlock the deepest layers of those messages. You unlock the deeper work, the deeper opportunity that lies within that archetype. And then, when you apply what you learn, the effects are forever. The effects reflect that realization of our immortality, of our eternal nature. Then your actions, your words, your thoughts become sustainable and have effects that last forever. So understand this work never ends. Understand that you created this through your expression. You attracted these relationships and these experiences, these situations, to be able to, upon remembering what this all really is, all one, all you can then utilize those experiences that you've created as a karmic result of your own expression, to be able to, right, through remembrance, activate those forces of polarity in the highest way. And then understand that this work is never done. And that as you're responding with remembrance and with awareness to these people and these situations in the highest way you know how, you're already karmically creating the next round to be able to refine that balance within you even further. So that's exciting. That's an amazing opportunity that we have. And especially look to where you're afraid. Look to where you're afraid to let go of your ego. Look to where you're afraid or uncomfortable to remain in your heart as you exchange information, words, ideas with others. Go straight to the discomfort, because that's where the growth happens, outside of your comfort zone. If you can carry the remembrance of our oneness straight to those moments of discomfort, and you can really anchor in that remembrance that we're one, then no amount of discomfort can keep you from doing your duty. No amount of discomfort can possibly allow your ego to continue on that path. Because you'll remember that we're one, and you will rise above all of your ego's thoughts. You will rise above the voice of the ego to absolute truth, and you will do what you need to do from the heart, and you will receive as well what you need to receive from the heart. Letter Pei showing up again. Pesach. Amazing. I also want to point out that we had a 6 and a 7. We have the Pei, we have the 6 and the 7. And by the way, the letter Pei, the letter Pei is connected to the star card in the tarot. It's the 17th letter of the Hebrew alphabet. And the star is all about the light inside. And the reason why the letter Pei, the mouth, is connected to the light inside is it's painting a bigger picture. When you connect the Hebrew letter to the archetype of the star, it's saying that our truest expression is that essence of who we truly are. It's the light within, which is the balance. Because when you reduce 17 to a single digit, 7 makes an 8, which is the number of eternal balance. So that balance within is that light inside. And that light is our truest expression. And the mouth represents our expression. So what we aim to do is to carry that light through all that we think, say, and do. Allow that light of who we truly are, that light of our immortality, that all virtuous light of compassion, to be our voice and to be our entire expression. So remember that. When you are really taking the message of our ally, the Pei, this week, what it should remind you is your truest expression is that light. Let it come through. Let it guide your thoughts. Let it guide your words. Let it guide your actions. And in that way, this becomes very easy, because then you don't have to think of what should I say? What should I do? What's the best way to receive this energy and be in my femininity? What's the best way to act on this energy and be in my masculinity? Oh my God, all that work, you guys, gets simplified. Because if your expression is that light, it guides the way. It guides your every thought, word, and action. You don't even need to think of how can I best embody either polarity, because both polarities are in service of the heart when you live in that way. When you express yourself as that light of who you truly are, it's already a unified expression in perfect harmony of those forces of polarity. Then it's not so hard. Then we're not thinking from that dualistic perspective of when should I be masculine? When should I be feminine? How should I act? How should I receive? Well, how do I do this? What thoughts should I, what words? You don't need to think of any of that. Remember, going back to what we said at the beginning of this activation, all you need to do is stay in your heart. Stay focused on the center. Keep your awareness there and allow it to think for you, speak for you, act for you. and you will be carried with grace. And all of the forces of nature and the cosmos will carry you through your relationships, through your experiences. And it really simplifies the work. But it takes effort to stay in the heart. So if you can do that, if you can stay in the heart, it takes a lot less work from the head. You know what I'm saying? So allow your expression to come from here, just like the star card. That's the message of the letter Pe. Allow your expression to be that light, and it will guide you to stay in your heart and make sure that you're giving and receiving from that space. Then you can come out of your ego and trust that you will always, like the positive end of the chariot represents, you will always go where you need to go. Inner travel and outer travel, as this card represents. You will always be exactly where you need to be when you need to be there. We always are. That's the thing. You can rest assured that you will be growing, expanding, evolving in mind and spirit in perfect timing. You don't need to worry about that. You just stay in the heart. Give and receive from that space. And your growth will reflect that immortality, that ability to connect and stay connected to that immortal place. You don't need to worry about how fast am I going to get to this part of my growth, or, what can I do to get to this higher place. The only place you need to be concerned about is the center right here now, which is forever. The here now moment is eternal. All you need to do is stay there, and you'll always be wherever you need to be, because wherever you be at physically will be a reflection of your internal order and your ability to stay internally centered in your heart. Then wherever you are in all the other dimensions will be a perfect reflection of that balance and harmony. Before we get cut off again, because I'm at this most magical place with barely any service, it was such a miracle we even got to do this. I just want to say thank you guys for joining me for this activation. I so appreciate your presence. I'm really looking forward to seeing all of your messages and everything that you think about this message that came through. Please feel free to share any personal insights, any way that you related to this message in our private group on Facebook, the Archetypal Alliance. There's also another private group on Facebook you might want to check out. It's called Shabbat Crew, where we talk about Jewish mysticism. So I've posted a lot about Pesach in there. If you want to know more, please join us. I love you guys. I'm really looking forward to meeting with you for one-on-one readings as soon as I'm back, and getting deep into the personal work so we could see how it relates to this really powerful message that is for the collective this week, because we're all connected. Remember. Happy holy days, everybody. See you soon.